Welcome back to a Faster PC live support. I know you've been waiting all week for this show. Well, you don't have to wait any longer. Get excited. This is exciting. We're actually going to be helping people resolve their computer problems. We may help you resolve your computer problems. So give us a call, 772 340 772 340 1590. Or you can head over to our Facebook or YouTube video. Either go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes. YouTube channel is kind of new, and we don't have as many likes as well. Or you can head to our website, fasterpc.com. We have links to both our Facebook page and our YouTube channel where you can watch this show in its entirety. And you know what? If you're driving down the road, you're doing other things, you're not able to watch right now, you'll be able to watch the show in its entirety at your convenience after the show is over. So, but if you have a computer question, if you have a computer problem, if something's not working, now is your chance to get your problem solved for free. Give us a call, 772 340 1590, and let's see whether we can help you on this show resolve your computer problem. Also, we do have technicians that are standing by in the shop ready to resolve computer problems, and we'll be there today until 2, but you don't have to wait until then. Remember, computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
That's right, you do, and we are back. And I know, hey, it's been a whole week, but we're back. We're ready to answer your questions, ready to help you resolve your computer and technology issues as well. So, what are you waiting on? Give us a call, 772 340 1590, 772 340 1590, and head on over to our Facebook page or YouTube channel and type your question into the comment section there as well. That's another way. I mean, you don't have to do both. You could do one or the other. And of course, if you're not where you can watch the video right now, you can watch it later. We do have the links on our website, afasterpc.com, or you can just go to YouTube or Facebook and search for a Faster PC. Although you might be able to find it a little bit easier from our website. One of the things we've been talking about, how to protect yourself, how to protect your computer, how to protect your system from hackers. One of the things that we're seeing quite often is people are coming into our office, to our shop with their computer, and their computer's infected, and they have, and sometimes it's not infected, but we deal with a lot of infections here, and one of the things is they're bringing in their computer's infected, and we find that they have an antivirus software on their computer that hasn't been updated, and probably, some of them haven't been updated for 3 years. I mean, no joke. And what happens is you get a lot of the computer manufacturers include an antivirus that works for maybe a month, and people just don't take it out. They leave it there. They don't take it out. So that antivirus is your default antivirus, but after that first month, it's not updating. So if you're not going to pay for it, you need to uninstall it. And what happens when you don't uninstall it is that it's sitting there. It's your default antivirus. Microsoft doesn't turn on the Windows Defender because you have another antivirus that's your default. And so what ends up happening is you have this antivirus that is there as your default, but it's not actually protecting you. Not only is it not protecting you, it's worse than that. It's preventing you from receiving protection. So you could actually uninstall it and have the Windows Defender, which actually does a fairly good job. It's not the best, but it certainly it's better than Avast. It's better than McAfee. It's up there on par with Norton. If you're paying for Avast or AVG or McAfee, you're paying for Norton, I know some people have Norton LifeLock, and yeah, and they get the antivirus for free in that. But you don't have to do all that. Um, we can the Windows Defender will do as good of a job of protecting you. And if you really want top tier protection, we do have some recommendations that are even better than that, where you can pay, and you're not going to be getting having to pay a huge amount of money. Now I'm going to switch over to a full screen and just show you how you would go through actually uninstalling an antivirus. If you had an antivirus on your computer that came with your computer, and you weren't going to renew it, you do want to uninstall it. You don't want to keep it there on your system. So what we're going to do, and I'll verbally describe this for those that are listening on the radio, but just know if you miss any part of this, or you want to listen to it again, or maybe you want to watch it, maybe you're not watching it right now, but you want to watch it, you can head over to our Facebook page, and or our YouTube channel, and you can watch this later at your convenience. And again, you can get those links at our website, afasterpc.com. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually go into the control panel. Now, in Windows 7, you could just click on Start and go up to Control Panel. By the way, if a Faster PC has installed the Start program that we use for some people that want to navigate, like when it's very similar to Windows 7 and Windows. And by the way, we can do this for Windows 10 or Windows 11. You still could do that. But if you have Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, Windows 11, and you don't have that Start program installed, you're not, if you click on Start, unless you've added the control panel to, unless you've pinned it, you're not going to see it there. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you a real quick and easy way, and this will work in Windows 7 also. Just hold down the Windows key and press R. That brings up the Run command, and type Control, Control, short for Control Panel. You could also type Control Space Panel. That'll work as well. But you're just going to type Control. By the way, when you hold down the Windows key, and the Windows key is the key that looks like a window. On most computers, it's going to look like a 4-pane window. If you have if your computer came with Windows 7, it might have a Windows flag. So it's a flag that actually has a 4-pane window on it, and it's the Windows logo. Typically, on a keyboard, you're not going to get a full color. You're just going to get, maybe the logo will be printed in white based versus a black keyboard, or depending on the color of your keyboard, might be a little bit different. But typically it's to the left of the left Alt key. So to the left of the space bar, there's an Alt key. Typically the Windows key is to the left of that. If you have a desktop computer with a standalone keyboard, or even a laptop computer with a standalone keyboard, all in one with a standalone keyboard, and you have a cheap keyboard, it might say WIN. I have even seen some that don't say anything. They're just a blank key. But you hold that down and press R. That brings up the Run command, or Run field, and you're going to type in the Open field. You're going to type in Control. Click OK. That'll launch the control panel, and the default view on the control panel is the category view. Now in the category view, you can click Uninstall a program. You can also switch over here to the large icons or small icons. Large icons are easier to see, and a lot of our customers are having a difficult time seeing. And by the way, even with the large icons, they all fit on the page, so it's not a problem to go with the large. But just here, if you're viewing large or small icons, click on Programs and Features. And then you're going to want to search through the list. And you're going to search for, if your computer came with McAfee, go on down until you get to the M section. If you're sorting by name, you can sort by name, by the way, by clicking, and by name is the default. You can actually click on that column, the name column, and it will sort either top to bottom, A to Z, or Z to A, depending on whether which way you click. But you're going to want to go on down and find McAfee, select it, and you'll see an uninstall at the top. Click on uninstall, and that will go through the process of uninstalling the software. Once the software is uninstalled, and there may be more than one entry for the antivirus. McAfee sometimes has a browser plugin and like a web advisor, and they'll also have the McAfee software. Some of the other AVG, Avast, a lot of them have more than one entry. So you'll want to remove all of those. Sometimes they have to be removed in a specific order. Like for instance, one of the software may be a dependent of the other software, so you would need to remove the second, the one that is requires the first software. You would want to remove that first, and then you'll be able to remove the other one. Sometimes you do have to restart your computer after uninstalling the software, but after doing this, what you're going to see is you're going to see the Microsoft Defender, and you'll see this. In fact, you probably will get a notification that says that your virus protection is turned off. And typically that's just a split-second thing, because the Microsoft Defender is going to actually turn back on. But you're going to want to click on the little arrow key if you don't see it near the clock in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And then you're going to look for a shield. There's going to be a shield. The shield may have an exclamation point. Click on that. That'll take you into the Windows Defender, Microsoft Defender, and you can just make sure that everything is enabled here. And we'll come back to this in a minute. You're listening to a Fast Radio here, heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour, right here on this station, and stream live to our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, ready to answer your computer questions. So you know what? If you have questions, well, we can't answer them unless you ask them. Our number, if you want to have your computer questions answered, is 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. Also, you can type your questions into the comment section of our live Facebook video that's happening right now over at Facebook. You can go there, search for Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes, or you just go to our website, afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer questions, and we'll be right back to do that. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. A Faster PC has been here, and as Florida begins to open for business,
The Faster PC
will remain open to repair computers 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 2 Saturdays. We offer curbside drop-off and pickup, and on-site service where a Faster PC can come to you. And we can fix many computer problems remotely without requiring any in-person contact. A Faster PC is also working to help our customers set up remote access so that employees can continue to work and be productive from home. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 next to the new Dollar General in Port St. Lucie, and on the web at
www.afasterpc.com.
That's www.afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. Again, that's 772-878-5978. Even in times like these, when you have computer problems,
You need a Faster PC.
This is Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, A Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to A Faster PC, or A Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. I know you've been waiting, well, a whole few minutes for the next segment of today's show. If you've been waiting to give us a call so that you can get your computer question answered, well, now's a great time to give us a call. Give us a call. The number here at the studio is 772 340 1590. 772 340 1590. Of course, if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to call and be on the radio. This is your opportunity, by the way, if you do want to be on the radio. But if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to be on the radio, you don't want people to hear what you say, then you can actually head over to our Facebook video. It's a live Facebook video going on right now. You can head over there. Just go to www.afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. That'll take you to our Facebook page, or you can go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. You'll find our page. We have between 22 and 23,000 likes. You'll be able to actually get over there, scroll down on the page a little bit. You'll see the live video, and you can type your question into the comment section. Now, your question doesn't have to be on what we've been talking about. It can be on any topic as long as it's computer related. So head over there and you can be on the show, or just give us a call, 772 340 1590. We did also want to remind you that we have technicians standing by ready to resolve computer problems. Our number in the shop is 772 878 5978, and we are located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie. Again, the number is 772 878 5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
That's right, and we are back ready to answer your questions, ready to help you resolve your computer problems as well, and ready to help you protect yourself and your computer. We were talking in the last segment, showed how to go through and uninstall an antivirus, and how you would get into the control panel, how you would uninstall it. Let me just switch back to that full screen. And by the way, if you have a question, you want to actually go over a question, we can do this. You can give us a call and at 772-340-1590, or type your question into the comment section of the live videos, either at YouTube or Facebook, and we'll go over that. But I just want to show you also, there's another way with Windows 10. You could probably see this with Windows 8 as well, but most of the computers that are coming today are with Windows 10 or Windows 11. I mean, in fact, today you're going to get Windows 11 if you go out and buy a really new one. If you get one that has Windows 10, it's not, I mean, it might be new. No one else might have used it, but it's not this year's model. That's for sure. But we're going to show you how another way, because with Windows 10 and even Windows 8, Microsoft started introducing, prior to that, everything that was installed on a computer was a program. But with Windows 8, Windows 10, Microsoft started introducing apps. And in fact, some computers will come with in S mode, which with S mode means that you can only install programs, and most of them are not really programs, they're apps that are available through the Microsoft Store. And why does Microsoft do this? Well, they do it the same reason Apple does it. I mean, there is a potential to make your computer more safe because Microsoft has tested and vetted the program, made sure it's legitimate. But you could probably do that yourself to some extent. If you have any questions, we can help you. We can be an advisor on that. But we do provide that for our clients. But one of the things that it does is it gives Microsoft an added revenue stream. What happens is when you go and you actually get an app from the Microsoft Store, Microsoft is going to charge whatever company that has put that app on there money. And what this does is that software that would otherwise be free is actually going to cost you money. Now, it's not going to cost you a lot, But you can go out and, for instance, get LibreOffice. You can go and download that from their website. It's a free Office compatible software. It will create, open, edit, save Microsoft files in the Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Publisher formats. It's not Word, it's not Excel, it's not Publisher, it's not PowerPoint, but you can do many of the things that you do with Microsoft Office. You can do with LibreOffice, and it's free. OpenOffice is built on the same core, and this is what's called open source software. So there was one of Microsoft's large competitors that originally developed this and gave it away as open source, and anyone can develop it. One version of this software is called OpenOffice. Another version is called LibreOffice. We typically use LibreOffice because it has support for additional file formats such as the WordPerfect formats, Microsoft Works formats, which sometimes even Microsoft Word has a problem with some of those formats. But anyway, it's free software. But if you get it through the Microsoft Store, you have to pay. It's not much. It's like $1.50 or something like that, $1.25, $1.50. But it does cost because the organization is having to pay Microsoft, and I'm sure that they probably had to go through like an approval process, which cost them extra money. So I'm sure that some of that money goes to Microsoft and some of it goes to the organization that is producing and distributing the software, the LibreOffice software. So that's just an example. But if you have a computer that's in S mode, and it came with a free antivirus, you will not have the program, like I showed you in the last segment, going to programs and features and uninstalling the program. It won't be there. It'll actually be in the app section of the settings. So you can click on Start. You can do this in Windows 10 and Windows 11. Go up to Settings. In Windows 8, you have to slide your mouse, your cursor up and down on the right-hand side, and the charms bar slides out, and you can click on Settings there. So here we have settings here, and you're going to click on apps. And this is going to show you apps. And this is another way that you can uninstall programs, but you can also uninstall apps here. Apps will not show up in the control panel, and probably eventually Microsoft will move everything over here to this apps and features section, because with every edition of Windows 10, they're probably going to do the same thing in Windows 11. They're moving more and more things over from the control panel into settings. But anyway, you actually have various settings here, but you have programs. You have programs that are listed here. And if we click on here, you for instance, if you had McAfee, if McAfee came with your computer and it was in S mode, you would not see it in the Add Remove Programs or the Programs and Features section, but you would see it over here in the M section. You would see McAfee. Also, if your computer's not in S mode and you actually have the full version of McAfee, and it does show up in the Programs and Features section or the Uninstall a Program section of the control panel, chances are you also have another McAfee app that will also be in this section here in the settings. So you may need to you'll need to come there as well and remove that as well. Again, if you want to pay for McAfee, that's fine. You can do it. That's your prerogative. I personally wouldn't pay for McAfee. I wouldn't even use McAfee if it was free. I wouldn't use it. I didn't use Norton when Comcast gave Norton away for free. I didn't use it because I just there are better solutions out there. And in fact, the Windows Defender even does as good of a job as Norton and McAfee. Does a better job, in my opinion, than McAfee. And by the way, it's not just based on opinion. You can actually go to go to actually look at their independent tests of antivirus companies, and the Microsoft Defender is doing very well. Again, there are some antivirus that do better, but McAfee's not one of them. So again, if you're going to pay for it, if you're going to subscribe to it, you can keep it. But if you don't want to, if you're not going to pay for it, you want to uninstall it. Otherwise, it's actually putting your computer at risk. Now, I mentioned earlier, going down in the lower right near the clock, or if you don't see anything in the clock, click on the arrow and go up to the shield. The shield may have an exclamation point. And when you do that, you can go in here and you can check a few things. Now, app and browser control, I'm going to turn that on. What that does is Microsoft will search as I'm installing apps. It'll kind of warn me if I'm installing an app that it doesn't quite know about or doesn't think it's safe. It doesn't necessarily mean that every app that it doesn't know about is dangerous. But what it does mean is that if it doesn't know about it, you really need to know for sure. You don't want to override that question or that prompt unless you are sure, absolutely sure that it is safe. There also is account protection. So if to get this, you would have to sign in to Microsoft to have the account protection. Well, I really I haven't yet used a Microsoft account. I'm using a local account for my computer, and we may talk about the differences between that. Maybe a little bit later today. Maybe another show we'll talk about the differences in a local account and a Microsoft account. I may at one point. I have been considering going to a Microsoft account. I may do that, but for now I haven't done that. It's not really necessarily that my account is at risk because of that. I'll explain that, when we do talk about it. Now here's virus and threat protection. Now I actually have virus and threat protection turned on, but they're recommending that I use OneDrive. Why? To back up my files. Now, I actually back up my files by another means, but if I did use OneDrive to back up my files, well, it would be a little bit, if I used OneDrive to back up my files, I'm not sure. I would have to pay quite a bit because I have a lot of files. But this is something that you could actually, for some people, Microsoft does give you 5 gigabytes of free storage with OneDrive, and you have 30 days worth of backup and protection. So, if the file if your computer is on the internet and OneDrive syncs that file, Microsoft syncs that file from your computer up to their server, which is what's called the cloud. What the cloud is, it's a computer. Think about, the clouds are above us. Think about your computer is in your house or in your office or wherever you happen to be with your computer. That's where your computer is. But the cloud is a server that's somewhere that actually is storing information or programs. In this case, it would be storing data. It would be storing potentially your documents. You could store your pictures in there. You could store your videos. You could store your music in there. Just know, though, if you go above 5 gigabytes, that it's going to stop updating unless you subscribe to Microsoft 365. If you subscribe to Microsoft 365, well, you'll get some additional space. You get 1 terabyte of data. 1 terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. So, and what can fit in that, 1 terabyte? Well, most people on their computers are using less than 100 gigabytes. Quite a few people are using less than 100 gigabytes. I would say probably 80% of computer users are using less than 150 gigabytes of data on their computer. And that would be, by the way, not just data, not just files, but also their entire operating system. So really, most people, as far as their personal files, their Word documents, their Excel documents, their PDF files, the downloads folder, the desktop folder, the documents folder, the pictures folder, the videos folder, the music folder, most people are using less than 100 gigabytes. There are some people that are using less than 5 gigabytes. So again, if you're using less than 5 gigabytes, you could use OneDrive for free. If you need more than that, well, you would either have to go with another solution or you would have to pay Microsoft to do that, to back up that way. We have in the past gone over how you can set up OneDrive, how you can move your files and folders over to OneDrive. It does require a Microsoft account, which is a email address or phone number that Microsoft has as your username, and then a password that Microsoft has. And it's very important to know what that password is. So, and that gets to password management, which we've talked about that. We talked about it a little bit last week. Probably, unless we have other questions, and by the way, you can call us if you have a question. Doesn't have to be on this topic, but unless we have other questions, we'll talk a little bit about password management in the next segment. It is really important to make sure that you are managing your passwords. You're listening to a Faster PC radio heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now's your opportunity. In fact, this is your last opportunity coming up, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC. This is Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, A Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to A Faster PC, or A Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
From the founding of our company, A Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to A Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean A Faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A Faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups, to QuickBooks, Metisoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to A Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We'd love to answer your computer questions, but if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590, or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772-340-1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website, afasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to a Faster PC radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for a Faster PC. We also wanted to remind you that in the shop, we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772-878-5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. All right, and we're back. We're ready to answer your questions, ready to help you resolve your computer problems in the shop as well. And of course, we're here to answer questions. So 772-340-1590 is the number, or type your question into the Facebook or YouTube video. Only a few minutes left in the show. So again, we'll be going over some other things if you want to actually get on the show and you ask a question. Doesn't have to be what we're talking about. Could be anything. We'll actually help you with that. So one thing that we did want to actually do is just show you again how you can actually talk a little bit about password security. One of the things that, first of all, Microsoft really wants you to use a Microsoft account with your computer. So much so that if you turn your computer on and your computer is connected to the internet, you will, and you have Windows 10, when you're first turning it on, the brand new computer out of the box, or maybe a clean install of Windows, Microsoft will prompt you to create a Microsoft account. It's very difficult in Windows 10. It's kind of tricky to be able to create an account without it being a Microsoft account. With Windows 11, it's even more difficult. Even if you're not connected to the internet, it wants your Microsoft username and password. It's going to want you to connect to the internet, and it doesn't give you an option to set up a local account. What you have to do if you have a Windows 11 computer and you want to get in to and have a local account, I'll tell you a little secret here. What you have to do is type a totally very bogus email address and password. And one that I found that works very well for the username is no@no.com. So no@no.com. So you could even try probably no@no.com. That might work as well. I haven't tried no@no.com, but I have tried no@no.com, and then just type some random characters into the password field. Microsoft will say, well, we encountered an error, and we want to set up your computer. What do you want the username to be? And you can then choose a local username, and you'll be able to go in. But most people, if you're doing it yourself, don't know that. You might not even remember that you could type no at no.com and type a random characters into the password and then create a local account. But most people are going to create a Microsoft account. When you do create that Microsoft account, Microsoft's going to ask you for a password. Quite often, people actually forget what the password is. They don't remember what the password is because Microsoft will then set up a PIN, which is typically a 4-digit numeric code, but it could be more, could even have letters in it. Some people even use the same thing for their password, their PIN as they do for their password. But most people think their PIN is their password and totally forget that they even had a password. And but this password is really important if it's a Microsoft account, because sometimes to go into safe mode on some of the newer installations of Windows, we can get into safe mode with the PIN. But in the past, we always had to have the password to get into safe mode. Now, what do we need to go into safe mode for? Well, sometimes you need to go into safe mode if you're troubleshooting. If your computer is infected, if it's really infected, you are not going to be able to get that infection out of the computer in normal mode, because the infection will be running and actively fighting. It'll be actually, we actually, I mean, it's been probably 20 years that, when we actually first started seeing this, where the infection was actively there. It was fighting to stay there. It was fighting to infect new files to further the infection. And so it's very important to go into safe mode to do that. Also, if you need to, for instance, if you have one of the features that Microsoft has that does enhance security is called BitLocker. And what BitLocker does is it encrypts your drive, so that, let's say this is a laptop or maybe even a desktop, and or an all-in-one computer. And let's say it's stolen. It could be stolen from your house. If it's a laptop, it could be stolen from wherever you have the laptop. Maybe you accidentally leave it in a bus one time, or you leave it, you fly and you accidentally leave it at the TSA terminal, and you come back and it's not there. Or you leave it in a cab or an Uber. Wherever you leave it, maybe you're in a restaurant and you forget to take it when you leave. You come back and it's not there. Well, what happens to your data? Well, if you don't have an encrypted hard drive, then someone can get into that computer and they could see your data. Now, there are ways under certain circumstances, and on certain computers, there are ways to reset a password, and people would still be able to get in and get your data that way. But if they didn't know how to do that or weren't able to get in and reset the password, then what would actually happen is they could actually pull the drive and connect it to another computer. Well, if your computer is encrypted with BitLocker, they can't access the data without the BitLocker key. And the BitLocker key is a very long, I don't recall how many characters are in it, but it is a long key of random numbers and letters. And that key has to match to be able to decrypt your data so that it can be accessed. And so what actually happens is that the person that's trying to get access to your data, and what are we talking about with data? We're talking about files. We're talking about Word documents, Excel documents. We're talking about maybe your Quicken file, or to look at your the files for your browser, your profile for your browser, which might have saved passwords in it. Maybe you have PDFs of your tax return, which is going to have your name, your address, your date of birth. It's going to have your Social Security number. Really, most of the information that someone would need to go out and get a loan would most likely be on your computer. You may even have copies of your driver's license on your computer. Maybe you've taken a picture of your driver's license and stored it on your computer. Maybe you needed to send it to an insurance agent or something like that. Well, you've got to, you realize that's pretty important stuff. You want to protect that type of stuff. Well, having that data encrypted is important. But let's say that computer fries and you need to take that hard drive and go to another computer and copy those files because those files are important to you. Well, you're not getting those files either unless you have that BitLocker encryption key. How do you get that BitLocker encryption key? Well, you have to go back to that Microsoft username and password. It's important to know that password. And when we talk about the password, well, maybe if you don't know the password, it can most times be reset. And how would it be reset? Well, you go to their website, you say that you forgot your password, and you go through the reset process. Typically, that reset will require you to be able to get into the maybe you have a cell phone that is linked to the account, and they will text you a code, or there's an email that's linked to the account, maybe even the username that's linked to the account, and they're going to email that code. Well, we've talked about these types of things, making sure these are updated. What if you've changed your phone number and you can't get a code from that phone number anymore because it's not your phone number? What if you don't have access to that email address anymore? What if you forgot your password to that email address, or you just had problems logging into that email address? We've actually had some of the people that are using AT&T and Yahoo and Bell South email addresses. They've actually had problems sometimes on a regular basis being able to log into their account, and have had to actually go through the process of resetting the password. And one of the reasons, I think, because the message they're getting is that there are too many failed attempts to log in. Well, the person, and we've talked to customers that are saying, you know what, I haven't tried to log in unsuccessfully. I know what my password is, but you know what? Hackers probably are trying to get in. Why are they trying to get in? Because if they can get into your email account, they can have access to that, and they can then send out emails to your friends and to your contacts, and they can solicit money. They can say, hey, you're stuck in a foreign country without your passport and you need help, and they can ask for money. They can try to trick your friends into clicking on a link because your friends know you and trust you and would trust anything that you send them. But in this case, it would be hackers sending it to them, trying to get them to click on a link so that their computer can be infected, so that their computer can have a maybe a ransomware attack on them where their data is encrypted, and so you want to protect this type of information. Well, what if your Microsoft account is linked to an email address that you no longer have access to? We even had one customer, he thought, well, I don't want Microsoft to have all this information. So he thought he would be really slick. He used an email address that was an old email address that he didn't have access to anymore. Well, lo and behold, at some point, we needed to reset his password, and we couldn't do it, or it was at least very difficult to do because he had no access to that email address. So you have to realize when you go in and you set these accounts up, some accounts will have security questions and answers. It's important that you know what those are. 10 years from now, when you need to reset the account because you forgot the password, you can't just answer whatever you want to answer. It has to match exactly what you answered when you set the account up. You have to have access to the email address and the cell phone information so you can receive the codes. If you don't have that, Sometimes you can still reset the password, but it is a lengthy process. Sometimes it can take up to a month, and it may require you actually sending pictures to whatever company this is of your driver's license, proving who you are. And it's not an easy situation, and there's no guarantee that even that will work. So make sure that you are saving those usernames and passwords. We'll talk more about that in the future. But if you've missed any part of this show or just want to listen to it again or watch it again, because you can do that at our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can not only hear the show, but also see the show. And when we've described and shown you how to resolve computer problems, you can actually see that and watch it over and over again at our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. You can get there by going to our website of fasterpc.com and clicking on the links. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5. And next Saturday, we'll be open from 9 to 2. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here on WPSL. The title to tomorrow's sermon is, What Does the Bible Say About the Don't Say Gay Bill? Part 1. You can listen to other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, or our church Facebook page, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. You can find a Faster PC's Facebook page and YouTube channel by searching for a Faster PC on Facebook and YouTube, or by going to our website and clicking on the links. While there, you can actually watch the show, not only hear the show, but also watch the show and see the steps that we go through to actually resolve computer problems. A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 on the east side of US 1, just north of Rio Mar. We're also on the web at www.fasterpc.com. Again, that's afasterpc.com. And you can reach us at 772-878-5978. Again, 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Prior to Jesus' ministry, he was filled with the Holy Spirit. After he fasted and prayed 40 days and nights, Jesus left his temptation filled with the power of the Holy Spirit. The Apostle Peter said that the gift of the Holy Spirit is available to those he spoke to, their children, and all who were far off. This means that you too can cry out to God to be saved and ask him to fill you with his Holy Spirit. Cry out to him today.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.